Life is often made up of small, ordinary moments: morning routines, the sounds of breakfast, dogs stretching on rugs, and quiet family interactions that go unnoticed. These are the moments we rarely remember because they are comfortable, almost invisible, in their normality. Yet, it is precisely these ordinary moments that life often chooses to interrupt, sometimes without warning. In the life of Kelly Ripa, a world filled with laughter, energy, and routine cheer, one morning's calm was shattered by a phone call. It wasn't dramatic or theatrical, but its urgency was undeniable, altering the rhythm of her day and the lives of those around her. This story is not about celebrity or fame, it is about what happens when the ordinary cracks open, how fear and love coexist in that space, and how people navigate crises. It is a human story about presence, courage, and the quiet endurance required when life changes without notice. The phone call that shattered normalcy. Kelly described the call as sudden, precise, and impossible to ignore. The voice on the other end did not carry conversation but urgency, a few words that instantly collapsed the familiar rhythm of her day. The kind of moment where the body reacts before the mind can process, where the seconds stretch unnaturally and panic quietly takes hold. In the first instant, tasks and routines dissolve, leaving a singular focus, moving toward the people who matter most. Kelly, a master of live television's unpredictability, admitted that nothing prepares you for such unscripted moments. In those early minutes, time both rushes and slows, each thought and breath waited with anticipation. Viewers immediately recognized this sensation, having experienced similar calls that shift life in a heartbeat. This moment marks the boundary between ordinary and extraordinary, demonstrating that crises do not announce themselves. They simply arrive, demanding attention, presence, and swift, instinctive action. The journey through the tunnel. The drive to the hospital is a unique and intimate experience, marked by a strange mix of urgency and structure. Stoplights and traffic seem intrusive, yet every decision, who drives, who calls, what to bring, becomes a way to exert control over the uncontrollable. Kelly described it not as a blur, but as a tunnel of small, deliberate choices that keep panic at bay. Outside, life continues as usual, but inside, every breath, turn, and glance is infused with a sense of gravity and care. The journey forces a person to confront fear, hope, and prayer simultaneously. It is in these moments that love manifests in its purest form, undistracted, focused, and immediate. Many viewers who have faced similar emergencies recognize themselves in Kelly's experience. These rides are a crucible for clarity, for measuring resilience, and for understanding how deeply ordinary routines can be disrupted by the sudden need to protect and support those we care about most. The weight of the closed-door hospitals have their own language, not only in medical terminology, but in tone, gesture, and pacing. Kelly recalled the moment the doctor closed the door and the space felt suddenly smaller, heavier, and charged with meaning. It was not the clinical information that struck her most, but the humanity contained in the words and gestures of the staff. A simple, "we're doing everything we can," carried both comfort and terror. Nurses and doctors, through posture, expression, and small acts, communicated care in ways that transcended words. Kelly's attention to these details highlighted how deeply human gestures anchor people in moments of uncertainty. It was in the quiet, the pauses, and the gentle interactions that she found solace amidst fear. These moments revealed that the power of presence, soft, attentive, and compassionate, can shape a person's experience as much as any medical intervention, creating a space for hope to coexist with uncertainty and for courage to take root in the face of fragility. The waiting room's quiet pressure. Waiting rooms are strange, liminal spaces, public yet intensely private, ordinary yet heavy with anticipation. Kelly and her family faced a series of decisions that demanded clarity through fog and fear. Families, despite public perception, are not seamless. They are layered with love, loyalty, tension, and unspoken anxieties. In the fluorescent lit room, with vending machines humming and distant footsteps echoing, they had to choose how to proceed. Every decision carried emotional, medical, and practical weight. Yet Kelly noted how the family listened carefully to one another, recognizing that the burden was shared and no one person could carry it alone. These moments reveal the emotional depth of ordinary human interactions under pressure. They highlight how, when confronted with fear, families can come together, rediscovering alignment, tenderness, and trust. For viewers, the scene resonates with personal experience, calling attention to the profound work of presence, listening, and shared responsibility that emerges in moments when life feels fragile. The unseen complication. Just when the family believed a course was set, a complication arose. While medical staff described it calmly, the family experienced it as sudden and disorienting. Another scan, more monitoring, a fresh wave of uncertainty. Hope, fragile and delicate, became a candle in a draft. Kelly described walking hallways, counting steps, and focusing on small actions to manage anxiety and create a sense of agency. These routines, coffee runs, repeated phone checks, attentive observation, became mechanisms to navigate helplessness. Audiences identified with these rituals, which are universal in moments of fear. Kelly's candid depiction emphasized the emotional geography of a crisis, that hope and worry exist side by side, that strength is often enacted in ordinary acts, and that endurance is built through repeated small decisions. The complication reminded viewers that human life is unpredictable and resilience is a practice of persistence, attention, and love. The power of small human moments. Amid machines and procedures, a quiet, human exchange changed everything. A nurse's hand, a whispered joke, or a moment of stillness offered Kelly a lifeline. It was not the medical intervention, but the ordinary acts of gentleness that mattered most. These gestures demonstrate that care extends beyond clinical expertise. It is also about empathy, presence, and intentional human kindness. Kelly chose to highlight these interactions to honor the unsung heroes who provide comfort without recognition. Such moments resonate universally because they show that in crises, small acts can carry enormous weight. Viewers relate through personal memories of kindness in their own lives, those subtle, meaningful moments that sustain them during hardship. Kelly's emphasis on these interactions reflects the profound impact of human attention, reminding us that compassion, when offered quietly, can restore hope and fortify resilience in ways that no protocol alone can. The choice to speak out. For public figures, silence is often mistaken for strength, but Kelly recognized that choosing silence could allow speculation and distortion to fill the space. She decided to share her story not to satisfy curiosity, but to shape the narrative with care and gratitude. Her focus was on emotional truth, on honoring the people who helped, and on reminding audiences that emergencies are human events, not spectacles. Returning to the public eye with measured openness created a sense of shared reflection. Vulnerability from a familiar face gives permission to feel, slow down, and acknowledge fear. By balancing discretion with openness, Kelly demonstrated that privacy and transparency are not opposites, but partners. Her approach offered viewers a model of dignity and emotional literacy, showing how one can navigate personal crises while maintaining both personal boundaries and the responsibility to communicate the essence of experience. Family confession and collective courage. Inside the waiting room, vulnerability surfaced naturally. Family members admitted fear, voiced regrets, and expressed raw emotion. This was not collapse, Kelly noted, but clarity, a moment that reshaped how they supported one another. High-pressure circumstances strip away superficialities, revealing what truly matters: presence, attention, and connection. The family made a conscious decision to pause, step back from obligations, and focus on each other. Emails remained unread, schedules temporarily set aside, and stories and memories were revisited to anchor themselves. These choices, radical in a culture addicted to constant motion, demonstrated healing through intention. For viewers, the moment resonated as an example of how slowing down, prioritizing loved ones, and creating intentional space for vulnerability can transform fear and uncertainty into shared strength. It reminds us that care and attention are often the most powerful forms of love. Learning from crisis. Kelly's experience reveals that crises often teach profound lessons about priorities and relationships. When ordinary routines are disrupted, families gain insight into their dynamics, discovering resilience, patience, and empathy that might otherwise remain hidden. The pressures of uncertainty can strip away distractions and highlight essential human truths: the power of listening, the necessity of presence, and the strength of emotional honesty. For Kelly and her family, navigating hospital corridors, waiting rooms, and medical uncertainties underscored the delicate balance between fear and hope. These experiences resonate universally because they reflect the realities faced by countless people in private moments of challenge. Through sharing her journey, Kelly provided a mirror for viewers, allowing them to recognize their own capacity for endurance, connection, and mindful presence, redefining strength. In recounting her story, Kelly reframes the concept of strength. True resilience is not the absence of fear or vulnerability, but the ability to act despite them. Strength manifests in attention to detail, care for loved ones, and deliberate actions taken to navigate uncertainty. It resides in endurance, persistence, and the willingness to accept help. Kelly's narrative demonstrates that strength is relational as much as individual, emerging in partnership, shared responsibility, and intentional presence. Audiences witness a nuanced definition of courage, one that prioritizes love, attention, and compassion over dramatics or heroics. Through this lens, strength becomes a practice, an ongoing commitment to face life's fragility with grace and awareness, honoring the quiet power of everyday decisions in moments of crisis. The role of presence in love. Kelly and her family's experience underscores a profound truth about love. Its power lies in presence rather than perfection. Love is often about small, steady actions, showing up in silence and offering reassurance without needing to fix everything. Mark's support and the family's collective attention highlighted that enduring connection relies on consistent care, empathy, and attentiveness. This form of love transcends romantic gestures, career milestones, or public achievements. It exists in the unremarkable yet profound moments of everyday life, particularly under pressure. By focusing on presence, patience, and shared hope, the family demonstrates that love is an active, intentional practice. Their story reflects the universal truth that authentic care is not always visible, but its impact is deeply transformative, creating emotional safety and resilience when life feels uncertain. Hope amid uncertainty. Even as medical and emotional challenges continued, Kelly and her family embraced hope as a guiding principle. Hope is not denial of reality, but a choice to envision a meaningful future despite uncertainty. Through milestones, routines, and quiet acts of connection, they nurtured resilience and trust. Each small victory, shared laughter, a moment of peace, or progress in care served as evidence that perseverance and intention can shape outcomes and restore confidence. Kelly's story offers viewers a lesson in the power of hope, that it allows people to move forward, sustain emotional connection, and maintain purpose. It reminds audiences that courage is not the absence of fear, but the capacity to act in its presence, and that hope can coexist with vulnerability, offering a compass through life's unpredictable and challenging moments. Humanity in the face of crisis. Ultimately, Kelly's narrative is a testament to the enduring power of humanity. Hospitals, waiting rooms, and emergency moments may appear clinical or chaotic, but it is the small human gestures, the hand on a shoulder, the whispered joke, the patience of caregivers that leave lasting impact. By sharing these experiences, Kelly honored both her family and those who acted with care during their most challenging moments. Her story reflects a universal truth. In crises, human connection, presence, and compassion are more important than any procedural or material solution. It teaches audiences that enduring love, resilience, and courage are cultivated in ordinary interactions, that vulnerability can strengthen bonds, and that even in disruption, humanity can guide a family toward alignment, understanding, and shared hope.